Is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back today to do another live tarot reading for you guys here on YouTube. I also am introducing a new series that I'm calling my Bridge series. That was inspired by a book that I revisited recently. This book is called Bridge to Terabithia. It's by Katherine Paterson. The book actually really inspired me because it has a lot of really interesting themes. And, I'm always kind of, I want to say, like, take pieces of inspiration and turn them into something that I can create with content that might be actually helpful or useful to somebody else. So I'm thinking of it as my bridge series. Today, I may be reading or looking at the book and using that kind of like flipping and looking to see like what are the themes that we get. I just did one over on Instagram and that worked really well. I haven't created a deck with the Bridge to Terabithia themes, but I plan to. So that's one of those things where it's in the works and you guys are going to see it soon here. So before I jump in, sorry, I have this funny, this funny chair that's got my blanket all curled up. Before I jump in, I just want to basically let everybody know that I'm still offering private readings. If you'd like to get a private reading, you can book it by sending a payment through PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. You can also donate right now. I still don't really know what I'm doing for housing. So anybody that wants to donate, all of that will go towards my housing situation. And I'm booking readings through mid-June, so please keep that in mind. After that, you're more than welcome to send a payment and try to book, but I can't guarantee I will be able to complete the reading because of my housing situation. So I'm just going to jump in and see what I get for everybody on this general reading. And kind of go from there. I did mention that for my June reading, I did mention this over on Instagram, that two other psychics actually picked up that June was going to have some kind of heavier themes to it. After I recorded that, there was a comment made that mentioned some of these things, and I just wanted to let everybody know that there's another intuitive. His name is Lee Harris. He did his June energy update, and I watched that and actually had a lot of similar themes from what I talked about for my June. So you might want to check that out. Let me know if you guys want to, me to link that video. I can do that. But yeah, I can't wait to see what we get. This is, again, a general reading. And mainly, I wanted to talk about some of the really cool themes of Bridge to Terabithia because it inspired me quite a lot. And, anything that inspires me, I try to bring on my channel and share with people because I think that, that's just what I'm kind of called to do. It helps keep my content kind of fresh and different. You guys got a very interesting, what I call 50-50 split. Meaning the last two cards are positive and out of four cards, the two cards that come before it are negative. So the two negative cards, we have the Four of Pentacles as well as the Devil, okay? And then we also have the Six of Cups and Ten of Pentacles as the outcome, which makes these are the two positive cards, okay? So we have the two positive and the two negative. So this is 50-50 split. Now, I will tell you that people, when I say this, it's actually more of like a 75-25, 75 for the positive, 25 for the negative, because when it's the last two are positive, that means that nothing is really blocking that from happening. and that most likely, that's sort of like the glass is half full kind of, where you look at it and you go, okay, most likely it will be these two positive cards. So it's very interesting because, you know, we had the June reading, and I talked a lot about the outcome there, and now here we have 50-50 split. So for some people, you know, again, this is a general reading. This could apply to, you know, anybody who's watching at any point in time. It's a timeless reading, where essentially when I see a 50-50 split, that tells me that there is some decision making involved. There's free will involved. And it's not guarantee. There's no guarantee. It's kind of like rolling the dice and going, okay, well, Spirit, are you going to give me a positive, or is it going to be negative? You know, are you going to, you know, are things going to turn out for the best, or are we going to go, you know, do we have this Four of Pentacles devil energy? Some of you actually maybe kind of rolling the dice in life, in the sense that you may be taking a chance on something, or just kind of like really hoping that things are going to work out. Like, to me, it's like you're rolling the dice and saying, okay, even though maybe things have not been the best, roll the dice and hope that maybe it will. I need to put the phone down for a second because I need to grab some water. Just a second. Sorry about that. So, okay. So we have this 50 split. And for some of you, this is financial stuff. This, to me, you know, all four cards really talk about finances, you know, with the exception of the devil. But the Four of Pentacles is a financial card about hardship, and the Ten of Pentacles is a card about financial prosperity. The devil, to me, is about feeling trapped, and the Six of Cups is about keeping the rhythm of life, doing things that you kind of have to do. You know, the laundry, the dishes, the housework, vacuuming, clearing off your table, making sure that you're taking care of your body. It's self-care. It's making sure you're washing your hair and you're brushing your teeth before bed, and, you know, you're scheduling all your appointments and things like that. And, you know, you're keeping the rhythm of life going. So to me, the devil is stuck. The Six of Cups is rhythm of life. So to me, it's very very split here. This energy is very split, in the sense that, you know, the Ten of Pentacles is very much prosperous, very, very much an extreme side of the coin when it comes to abundance and money, and the Four of Pentacles is the extreme of like not having any money. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate the comment. So yeah, so in comparison, that's, you know, like, it's very interesting that we have that there. This is weird. I'm not sure where this other card was. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to see like what else I can tell you as far as this energy and how I really feel like this is going to go. The way that I feel like this is going to go is I feel like some of you are just trying to decide what you want to do. Some of you, it's all about decisions, and for others, it's really all about just where you're at versus where you could be. For some of you, it's more of like a feeling of being stuck rather than actually being stuck. For some of you, it's facing responsibilities versus feeling like you're being chained to responsibilities. Like, for some of you, it's taking care of the things that you need to take care of and getting it done, rather than avoiding it, feeling like chained to it, or like having a negative perspective. For some of you, it's all about perspective. Like, it's looking at your life and going, where am I blessed? Or looking at your life and going, where am I prosperous? Or looking at your life and going, where am I going to thrive? Putting your money where your mouth is kind of thing too. Like, um, and and like, what is like the lens that you're seeing? And my guides are showing me like there's a lens with which you're seeing life, the world. Like, so for some of you, the lens you're seeing life through is like a financial perspective, and it's very hard not to do this when you don't have a lot. But for some of you, like, you go into this financial perspective of not having, like, worrying about what you've got or not having what you need, or like worrying about like not having enough finances to cover maybe some of your bills. So have been underwater because of your bills. It's been, you're trying to like just keep up with your bills. That's what I feel like for a lot of you. And for some of you, maybe you're worried about like, okay, your financial future. Maybe to me the 10 of Pentacles could be like, maybe you're worried like, you don't have savings, or you're worried that you're going to need savings later in life, or like you haven't set up for a rainy day. And to me the 10 of Pentacles is like, maybe trying to get a better job so you have, more money to spend on the kids, or to spend on your family, or to like build what you want to build. Because the 10 of Pentacles to me is a card about building stuff. It's about like having money, like large chunks of change to like build stuff. So maybe building a house, or like, fixing a property, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like investing your money, because to me to 10 of Pentacles is also investing. I would be very cautious with the Justice card here. I'd be very cautious about your decisions about any kind of investments. That's what I want to say, decisions about investments at this time. I do feel like those of you who are kind of rolling the dice and, well, wanting things to get better with your finances, I feel like they will, but I also feel like you're going to have to put an effort. There's going to need to be some changes that need to be made to your financial, to your finances. I feel like for everybody, we're all going to be going through like a shift in finances, how we view money, like what money means to us, where we put our money, what we want to do with our money. Like, I feel like it's all going to be really, really shifting over the course of the next couple of months, to the next couple of years. I feel like it's going to be a long lasting change in which we're all going to have to kind of adjust to. I feel like, the people have said that, the dollar's no longer going to be no longer, and there's going to be some changes there. So I feel like everyone's going to need to be really, really re-examining their values, their money values, their, like, what's it worth to them to have certain things in their life, to have things done. With the Six of Cups, to me, that's the things that are worth having done, or the worth, spending money on, are things that take care of you. This is be like, again, going to see a doctor, sending money to go see a doctor, going to, getting an expert opinion about something. That's a value. Where we're at right now with the North Node in Taurus, going into the North Node in Aries, we are just at that final flush point, okay? And Taurus is all about value. It's all about, what is this worth? And they're learning value. And some people have no sense of like what something is worth, and others really, really do. Some people think, okay, well, those socks are not worth $10 a pair. They're just not. Other people are like, they're going to spend $100 on one pair of socks from some designer somewhere that are like silk. Everybody has their own like value system when it comes to money. So I feel like this is a theme that's going to be coming up over the next couple of months, but it's showing up here. And so like, I want to bring this up. I don't want anybody to get this message, okay, where I'm telling you that everything's going to improve and you don't have to worry about a thing when it comes to money, because actually I don't feel like that's true. And I don't feel like that's the message here. And as hard as that might be to hear, I can't deliver that message because I feel like, number one, there are other factors that are influencing this. Number two, I feel like on a global scale, we are all going to be thinking about money in a different way. We're all going to be assessing and being like, do we need to buy the $500 pair of shoes, or do we need to feed our kids? Do we really, really need to get a new car, or can we, fix up whatever on the old one? You know what I'm saying? Do we really need to like buy a house that's $1 million out of our budget just because we want to live in a certain place, kind of thing. It's really these choices about value, these choices about like how we are spending our money, I'm going to sneeze just a second. I feel like, excuse me, that was a really big sneeze. I feel like it's super important for everybody to think about their money values at this time. Like, what's the most important thing at this time to buy? What's the most important thing that you're going to need later? Okay. What is it that you can buy now? And I've said this before, and I'm saying it right now too. Again, what is it that you can buy now that's going to be triple later? For some people, that's rice. For some people, that's beans. For some people, that's like basic clothing. I do feel like basic clothing is going to become astronomically expensive. I think, I don't know if it was Lana Duncheva that said that anything to do with Taurus, we were going to see, inflation with, and the makeup, like just buying makeup, women's makeup, has doubled. Okay. So what used to be $6 is now $12. Okay. What used to be 12 is now 24. Okay. So it's like, it's really drastically different. And let's just say inflation were to triple, then that one piece of makeup is going to cost you $100, where before it was like, what, $24. So like essentially you're looking at reassessing. Well, it is the lesson of reassessing your whole life, because our life does revolve around money. I don't know anybody whose life does not revolve in some way around money, unless they grow their own food 100%, live off grid 100%, don't ever go buy anything 100%, which I really, really doubt. And I discourage everybody from doing, actually, because I think that it's important to contribute to small businesses, to contribute to the people that are not working a 9-to-5 job of somebody else's making, that they've taken it upon themselves to build something themselves, to do something themselves, to get their education themselves. Like I was raised in a small practice, and a small business. And my parents, my family worked at it, forever. And essentially it taught me that but it wasn't easy. And there was constant continuing education for my dad, and constant working with patients and emergencies. And it was just they had to work really, really hard for what they got. Really, really hard. So I have to encourage everybody. I feel like, yes, it's important. Living off grid is a great idea for some people that can make it work. I encourage all that. All homesteaders, I totally support. But I have to say, this idea of, I feel like we're all going to have to come to terms with how money is part of our life, and how we manage it or mismanage it, how we value it or undervalue it. What is it that we're buying with it? Now, the funny thing is it's hard for me to show you guys, but I think I may have showed you guys in one of my other videos, but I basically started for the last 2 years, essentially, I started watching the things that I was buying, and I was writing on the top of my receipts, what I was going through that day or what it represented. So I learned a lot of valuable lessons from how I was spending money. So for some of you, I want you to start saving all of your receipts. like from whatever it is that you're doing. It could be like the drive-through at Starbucks, or it could be, you know what I mean, going to the grocery store, whatever it is and how you're spending it. I want you to make like a little note at the top of your receipt, like this was a good day. I bought some groceries I needed, whatever. You could say I was having a bad day. I went and I got some chocolate somewhere, you know, whatever it is that you were experiencing that day. And I want you to kind of keep track of, yeah, like how you were feeling about it and like how you were spending it. Because I think it's important at this time to really look at that. Because this is again, North Node and Taurus stuff. I do feel like I have to say, going back to what I said, I did say that I wanted to caution everybody because I felt like, because this is what I would consider a 50-50 split, there's a chance that things won't improve with money, but I also feel like there's a chance that things will improve with money. And I have to say that there's both those energies present. More likely, things will improve with money in a way that you're going to be very pleased by. Maybe you're going to be worried about, but I feel like you're going to be very pleased by. For many of you. Others, I feel like you're going to need to really make some changes. Either move to a place that's maybe less expensive. You're going to need to maybe find a job that pays you more. Maybe work on picking up some extra side gigs or side hobbies, you know, to bring in the extra money. For some of you, you're going to be thinking, you're going to be watching this and be like, you don't have to do anything. It's just going to happen. Things are going to miraculously change. And going back to what I said in my other video, I don't believe that. And going back to what I said a little bit earlier in this video, I don't want to give people that impression because I don't necessarily feel like that's the case. And I feel like for most of you, there's going to be some element where you're going to have to work at, on some level, managing your money better, watching your money more, whether watching your money, how you're spending on a food, watching it, how you're spending on clothes, watching how you're spending on your kids, watching it, where you're spending it, how much you're spending. For some of you, it's like spending food, like out to eat. For some of you, you know, you're maybe doing some landscaping and you're like, are we going to be building this XYZ beautiful, I don't know, greenhouse, let's just say hypothetically, and it's going to cost you $20,000 to do it. This is where you really want to examine and be like, okay, do we really want to spend $20,000 in this greenhouse right now? Maybe we should just build some raised beds, you know what I'm saying, instead. Or like, you know, I'm giving you guys an example of the ways that I feel like you're going to be thinking about money, maybe managing money a little bit better. Okay, this is going to sound strange, but like this is coming through since we're talking about this. I feel like someone is going to get a large tattoo and they're going to be spending quite a lot at this tattoo. We have this Ace of Wands, and you can see there's this mark there, and to me that's a tattoo. It looks like a tattoo. And we also have I pulled the Six of Pentacles with it. You can see it's this money flowing out. So, you know, this goes back to what I've said before. Like, and I've told this story before. I had a friend who was going to spend, I don't know, $4,000 on a tattoo. And I said, before you do that, can you please, like, maybe donate to, like, the turtles, you know, maybe the rainforest, maybe, like, kids saving the rainforest, maybe donate it to somebody who needs it, maybe St. Jude's. $4,000 is a lot of money to me, you know? And I just feel like I'm not sure what this is, so I'm sorry, but so yeah, so like I was saying, $4,000 to spend on a tattoo is a lot, and I don't feel like that's very productive. I feel like, you know, everybody has their choice about how they want to spend their money. And this goes back to what I said in my video about the North Node going into the sign of Aries. When the North Node goes into the sign of Aries, South Node will be in Libra. Libra is going to be in timeout. Everybody during this period of time is going to be thinking about why they did what they did and the decisions that they made. And they're going to have regret. They're going to have deep, deep regret about the decisions and choices they made at this time. And the reason I say that is because Libra, for everybody who's never known a Libra, will all say they couldn't understand why they made the decision they did. And Libra is notorious for being a poor decision maker. If they make any decision at all, okay, which is usually last minute, which isn't even usually really a decision, it's something that somebody else wants. If they do make the decision, they look back on that decision with regret. In hindsight, they would have done something different. So honestly, I would not advise this. I don't advise throwing money at a tattoo. I don't advise throwing money on anything that's going to cost you maybe over $100 for clothes. I would advise you on, if anybody's like maybe buying a new car, I would encourage you to buy a used car, or like, you know, it doesn't have to be the kind of car that you're, you know, has to be like with all the fancy stuff, you know. I would encourage you to really think, okay, before you go and you maybe buy any kind of expensive jewelry, even if it's like, you know, like even if it's an engagement ring, I would encourage everybody to be like, you know what, this is not necessary at this time, because I've said this before, the energy that I pick up when I tune into the 1920s. Okay, 1920s. Okay, we are going not 2020s. We're talking like 1920s. We're going back in time. Is an energy of like this roaring, right? They called it the roaring 20s, when everybody was partying it up. Everybody's having a grand old time. Everybody's spending money here and there and not really caring. It's like this buzz. It's kind of like this roaring, like stream. And then what happened? What happened? We have the Great Depression and World War II. That's what happened. So history, and I said this before, I went on a trip to Seattle not too long ago. I don't know, several months ago. And I picked up on this energy of like this roaring energy, the energy of like the 1920s. Where everything was moving fast and everybody was spending money, and like all this, you know, all these new shops were, you know, popping up everywhere, and everything was just kind of flowing like really, really hard. And I was like, okay, we are exactly in the place that they were in the 1920s. We are like geared up for that. We're ready for that, essentially. Nobody's paying attention. Everybody's thinking that like we're just going to keep like rolling in this beautiful flow, and that nothing's bad could happen, and that, you know, history doesn't repeat itself, but it absolutely does. And I would caution everybody to really question how they're spending their money at this time. If you're in that roaring 2023 energy, or are you being really wise and really smart with everything that you've got? For those of you who like are trying to prep for like a child, say maybe you're getting pregnant, again, I would be very very cautious about like how much you're spending on like baby stuff and clothing and like all kinds of stuff that you maybe don't necessarily need. Do you need to like refurbish everything and like you know, a beautiful shade of beige? It means not necessary, you know, like you mean like what's necessary and what's not, you know. There are things that we're gonna want during this period of time, and it's totally normal, totally fine. Everybody has a life, whatever floats your boat. But I will tell you from the perspective of looking back at the energy of the 1920s and the energy where we are right now, very similar. And that should tell you something. That should be like a little red flag in your mind. Be like, okay, like what's really going on here? Like what's, because it's sort of like, what's that? It's like a roller coaster, right? Like back in the day, my family used to go to the Jersey Shore on vacation, and like we go on these giant roller coasters where you go way, 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 way up, and then we've got the dip, 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 way, 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 way down. So we're like on our way up right now. We're on our way up. We don't see the dip. We don't see it at all. We just see like, okay, we're on our way all the way up. Okay, and like this is really fun. Da 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 da. And then the dip is when everybody starts screaming, because that's when you realize that the fear sets in that you're falling. So the fact that my guide's even showing me that, like it's a metaphor, it should be really, really clear to everybody what I'm trying to say here. And it's interesting that, all this stuff is coming up about money at this time. Yeah, like if somebody's like, you are, building a property, or let's just say like refurbishing stuff around your house, do you really need like the marble countertop that costs XYZ, or could you do a different countertop that's a little bit less expensive? These are all Taurus type questions. Taurus will go the more prudent route, the cheaper route. That's how they roll. They'll have more of stuff, but like it will be, they'll have gotten it at a discount, or they'll have gotten many things, but like they'll have saved up for a very long time to be able to afford it. So again, watch your savings. This is a time to really watch your savings. And make sure you are counting everything and being really like conscious of like what your budget actually is. And if you don't have a budget, be conscious of that. Be like, okay, I don't have a budget right now. How do I get back on track? How do I pick up an extra job? All that kind of stuff. I would use this time very, very wisely. This is the time to use time to your benefit. This is also a time to research things and to learn things. The High Priestess is showing me there's this pomegranate here. And the pomegranate to me, like during this past winter, the pomegranate to me is about your health and like lifting you up out of the blues. To me, the pomegranate has a lot of like antioxidants and stuff. So it's a great thing to take if you suffer from depression, if you have the blues. You may want to try pomegranate or stuff that's like really high in antioxidants. As far as asking a question, I used to answer like one question during my lives for $25, but I no longer offer that. Somebody said that they were going to send a payment, but never did. So essentially, they ruined it for everybody who wanted to ask a question in the lives. I'm happy to book you, Sunshine, if you want to book a reading. It's $77.77. You can ask me as many questions as you want in 30 minutes. It's the $ Oracle Daphne for Cash App. It's, the PayPal link is on my website, oracledaphne.com. You could also do Venmo if you really wanted to, but you would still have to email me. So, some good times. I want to see what else I'm getting from this spread here. I want to pull some other cards. Oh, I was saying the High Priestess too, going back to the High Priestess. The High Priestess to me is about knowledge. And to me, like when I learned about the pomegranate, to me this is like natural medicine, or maybe going back to school for something, deciding you're going to further your education. It doesn't have to be natural medicine. It could be any subject. But to me, this is like, higher education, higher wisdom. Deciding, even if you're just say like in college, you're like, okay, I really want to study XYZ, and really putting your focus into that. Being like, I'm really going to study it. I'm really going to get good at it. For some of you, it is science. It is medicine. of some kind. Doesn't have to be natural medicine, but like maybe some of you like that's watching like starting to become a doctor or nurse, or like, you know, like you're starting to become some kind of certified aide or something like that. Or even caretaking, things like that. For some of you, you really put love on the back burner. Like you've decided that it doesn't matter. That like love doesn't matter. Or that a partner, not having a partner, like it doesn't matter. And the funny thing is this card is about determining what matters. And for some of you, like this could be finding a love partner that you marry for love, not for money. They could be very wealthy, but you actually fall in love. This is also realizing that everyone needs love, regardless of who you are, regardless of how much money you have. Everyone needs love. Everyone needs to have somebody in their life that loves them. Or else we get depressed and we die. And that's just what happens. Like, so it's really, really important to make love a priority however you want to do that. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you go out and you find the nearest person. Although I used to tell a friend of mine that he needed to go after the first chicken that crossed the road, okay? Like the first hen that clucked in his direction, you know? So for some of you, that's what you need to do, you know? I need to put the phone down again because I need more water. Just a second. I forgot to put my water here. But I am still here. Okay. So I'm back. Okay, so yeah, so like for some of you that's the issue. You know, love is the most important thing, and you know, some of you don't believe that anymore. Or some of you like you've been like, okay, I'm going to put career over I'm going to do career over love, or I'm going to focus on other things over love, or like maybe you've given up on love, you know? um I feel like for some of you, there's going to be a death in the family. I feel like some of you are going to hear news of the death in the family maybe after the fact sometime. You might actually get news of more than one death in the family. It could be like two deaths in the family at the same time or around the same time. The weird thing is that around this time, like that you get news, like a lot of things are going to start to shift and fall into place for you personally. So like it's one of those weird things, and I've seen this like even for myself, the day that my dad passed was a day that I got a call back on the job. So some of you, like something really good is going to happen that day, or something is really going to happen around that time. Because we got the Sun card in my Mars side deck, and this card to me talks about things falling into place, things working out, and my guides are confirming this. And to me, it's like there's all these really positive cards that come after this. So like to me, there's somebody, or you know, more than one somebody who's going to pass, and a lot of things are going to fall into place. It's going to be like click, 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 things falling into place. And you know, we have good news, one of the good news cards. Good news can come in any form. It can come on any topic. Whatever good news would be to you, that's going to come through. But to have both the Sun card and the new good news card, and like the World card, it feels like after that happens, you're going to feel really free. You know, you might actually make some new friends, or develop, you know, work on your friendships. You know, you might go travel, you might move, you might decide that you're going to do things differently. I do feel like some of you are going to be going through like a grief period, yes, but I feel like maybe need to take a little time out. But I feel like in general, there's a lot of positive things that are going to click in around that time. Okay, I said that I was going to read from Bridge to Terabithia, and I am going to flip to see what we get here. See if there's any themes that want to come through. It's interesting. This is where, okay, so I flipped to page 20 where Leslie is joining the class. This is her first day of the new like 5th grade class, I think it is. And you can see like in the book, she's standing there and everybody's looking at her. And to me, it's actually kind of a positive thing. It's going kind of long. Like I'm picking up a lot of positive things because there's some other tough stuff in this book. But to me, this is actually, it takes her courage to stand up in class and be like, here I am. This is what I'm doing. This is, me. And I feel like she's really standing in her strength. And she doesn't give one F about what the kids think of her. She's just sort of showing up. And there's 2 really positive messages that want to come through about this. One is that it's going to surprise you who shows up for you at this time. Someone's going to show up for you. Number 1. And it's going to be surprising because you might not think like that person's going to show up for you. And by showing up for you, they might call you, they might text you, they may show up at your door. They may show up in a different way than you're expecting them to show up. They might send you something in the mail. I feel like there's this energy of somebody showing up for you. And I will say from personal experience, the people that have shown up for me in life are usually the people that I'm not expecting to show up. The people that I'm like, I need you to show up now. Can you please show up now? They don't show up. It's the people that are unexpectedly showing up that show up for me. So you might have that. I'm not saying that's going to be you, but like it might come in an unexpected way. That's number 1. Number 2 is the other positive thing is that like when you do something new, to me, there's this energy of newness. It's a positive energy of newness where it's like the first day of school, the first kiss, the first class, your first time having sex. You know what I'm saying? There's this newness, the first date. Hanging out with somebody for the first time. It's like a sort of bravery that it takes to like show up and do it. They say the first day of a new job is the hardest because it's just the first day. You gotta like acclimate yourself to everything. So to me, there's this message about adapting, but it's also being brave at this time. It's also about the newness of things, jumping into something new, something different, saying yes to something new, something different. Maybe starting something new too at this time. Something else. To me, there's also like something about being patient, showing up to stuff, being patient with others. It's sort of like there's this energy, like, the character Leslie, the page I turned to, she's standing there and she's waiting patiently for things to happen. So for some, like the message is like there's going to be, and I have felt this myself personally, but like in general, everybody's going to be really take a deep breath and be really, really patient in the month of June. like really more patient than you've ever been. But what will come from that patience is a kind of peace and like acceptance of where you are. It's kind of like, like my feet do this really funny thing when I'm being really patient. They kind of turn inwards like this. And I get kind of not stuck, but like I'm very grounded. And I just kind of wait. And I'm not a patient person. Like I'm not the most patient person, you know? I'm really just not. I admit that. I have to work on it. But I think in June, everybody's going to have to work on it. I think in June, everybody's going to need to be more patient with each other. Patient with themselves where they're at in their life. So patient with your current living situation. Patient with the people that are living around you. Patient with, let's just say like you start a new job or you start a new hobby, or patient with, your friends, your family. Patient is the key word here. And I don't think anything else is coming through there. I want to see if there's anything that wants to come through from my Andromeda deck, and then that's going to be all for today. The outcome, this is interesting. The outcome for my Andromeda deck is love as manifesting. And it's interesting because I think, honestly, for those of you who are watching, who are really working on trying to manifest stuff, this is going to be a good time to do that. And you'll be really surprised, really, really, really pleasantly surprised on how your manifestations actually work. How, like, if you're putting your focus and your attention into something, then that's going to manifest. Let's just say you're scripting, you're writing things out, whatever it is. I am so thankful and grateful for my new shoes. I'm so grateful for all of the food that's in my fridge. I'm so grateful and thankful for this housing, all that stuff. Okay, so these are your scripts. Let's just say all that's going to manifest. The universe is going to see that. Like, it's like, I feel like actually, like, if there's been issues with manifestation in the past, where for some reason, like if we had, we have had a lot of solar flares and stuff like that, which I feel like have been blocking things and being really, really tough. I feel like for those of you who have felt like your manifestations aren't working, I feel like you're going to see signs that your manifestations are working. And by that, I mean, like, where your focus is going, it's going to hit its mark. That's what I want to say. Like, let's just say, okay, and it's interesting. Like, I've never seen this before. Maybe I have. It's been a long time. You see how she's holding these, like, weights? Like, I see them as being, like, weights. She's got some serious muscles there. I've never seen that before. She's, like, serious muscles. For some of you, let's just say, hypothetically, you've been working out. You're like, you were working out. And you're like, I haven't seen anything. Like, you're going to start to notice, like, how the positive is manifesting for you. So if you've been doing something for a long time, like it could be whatever it is, you're going to see the results of your work. I did want to talk about the full moon in Sagittarius. I think I might do like a whole separate thing on that actually, but one of the things that I feel like Sagittarius, the energy of the Sagittarius fire, is to me about manifesting. It's about hitting the mark, It's the archer. And to me, that's manifesting. That's releasing something out to the universe and the universe bringing it back to you. So I'm going to leave you guys on that note. These are things to think about. Thank you guys so much for being amazing fans and followers. I'll be back again. If you'd like to book a reading, please do. Send a payment through PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App, and then reach out to schedule, or I'll reach out. If you if you send me a payment through PayPal, I'll reach out to schedule. But you can also email me as well. And yeah, I wish you guys all the best. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. All right, take care. Bye.